Hi, I'm Kaming.
Hi, I'm Syafiq.
Hi, I'm Fatihah.
So in today's episode, in our alternative series, we'll have Syafiq and Fatihah to discuss on the topic of why an in-house counsel instead of practicing. So as introduction, could you both tell us an overview of how you ended up as an in-house?
Right. Okay, my name is Syafiq. After I graduated from UM, I entered my privilege. So I was in practice for about 1 year. And after that, on 2018, I left practice and I became a legal manager for a group company, which is called 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗺. And so now, up until now, I'm in my 3rd year as a legal manager.
Oh,
Alright.
After my graduation from UM as well, I do my privilege in 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀 as the corporate chambi at that point of time, and then I straight away joined UCSL University as their administrative executive and also PA to the Vice President Human Resource. Because back then I am very much into industrial relation law and employment law.
Oh.
So I choose not to practice and straight away go into in-house position because I like the operations part in business.
So both of when you entered your law school, you did not have the angle of ending up as practicing lawyer.
For some people, they do have like a target that by this time I want to be what kind of lawyer. I don't really have that, but I do have a broad perspective where I want to do corporate. So it doesn't matter whether I'm legally practicing in a law firm or if I've left practice and I'm in company, I'm still doing corporate. So there's every person have a different perspective. So like me, I want to do corporate. So it doesn't matter whether I'm still in practice or I've left practice. As I'm a legal manager now, I'm still doing corporate. Alright. So but I don't really have a target where I said to myself, I still want to be a lawyer by the end of my life, for example.
Okay, for myself, I never like being in legal fraternity itself to begin with, but I like reading law. So because of that, I wanted to continue reading law, but be in the operation, so to speak, the law of business. So it's never a goal to practice the law, but to read law and apply in a daily life. So that's how I end up in the company.
Oh, I see. That's quite interesting. Then, just to ask, usually who makes the decision on what university we go and what we study is up to ourselves, but definitely the people who support us are our parents. So were your parents supportive of your choices, or were they hey, you studied law school, why you quit practicing then? Why you go to this one? Did they have these kind of things?
For me, it wasn't really a matter because as long as I'm having a good job, a stable job, it's good for them. Alright, and then even though I've left practice, I'm still doing law. So I'm still doing corporate law. So I'm not really out of the perspective of I'm doing something else totally new from law. I'm still doing legal things. So for them, they're still supportive, no matter what, as long as if you're happy with it and it provides you a stable job and everything, then they're really supportive.
I think the same case with me. My parents don't really impose any kind of job that you have to take to sustain your life. As long as you are happy, then they are fine.
I see. That's quite nice, supportive parents.
Yeah.
So, how does a day at work sounds like that?
My day at work is basically a normal 8 to 5 work. I'll be in the office by 8 and I'll be busy with my work and all that. I'll be attending meetings with the managing directors, and then there are also things to do with the shareholders, for example. And then we also liaise with a lot of our panel lawyers and all that, client. So there's a lot of paperwork, but the good thing is by 5 I'm done compared to when I'm in legal practice.
For me, more or less, it's quite the same. It's just that in last year, I left my position as legal manager in a construction company. So back then, as a legal manager, of course, like Syafiq, We do from organizing the meetings up until like representing certain litigation matters and conveyancing and financing, basically all rounder. But then I choose to leave the position and explore another position called corporate governance, whereby I am so-called compliance officer for the company. So I only focus the compliance matter for the company. So it's like 9 to 5, but I'm looking at the risk management schedules and also whether my companies are complying to the basic laws like human rights, not the human rights, safety, and no longer the litigation part or conveyancing or financing. It's at the oversight top level. I'm protecting the interests of the board of directors and senior management, no longer protecting the interests of the company and employees at the bottom part.
See, like your field is more to corporate law and yours is to industrial relations.
No, okay. Okay, one of the branch in law is actually corporate governance. Corporate governance is actually how does the company do their best to protect the interests of stakeholders, everyone that is affected by their conduct. Let's say shareholder interest, how do company protect their interest? Employees' interest, how do company protect the employees' interest, like safe working environment. Like last year, our government has imposed company to provide a plan to prevent bribery from happening. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm basically drafting the framework on how the company complying to the law and protecting everyone's interest.
Oh,
Compliance.
I see. That's really interesting. Okay, what aspects of the law, like you guys practicing, like appeals to you, like makes you guys interested then?
Alright. Like for me, our main business is property developer. We are providing services like event spaces and also HR and accountancy services. So for me, my practice revolves around on land law and conveyancing a lot. So at the same time, as a legal manager, you have to be fully equipped with broad legal knowledge. For example, employment, industrial relation, any updates on corporate governance, and also compliance with the authorities, local updates on the guidelines, for example, whatever new laws that comes in. So as a legal manager, you have to also do compliance where whatever the operation of the company abide to the law of the government, whatever new things that comes in and whatever changes, some sort of like that.
For me, it's more or less the same. It's just that my company is quite sizable, so that senior officer like me only look at the matter on corporate governance. But compliance, I have someone else. Commercial, legal manager, we have someone else. Safety officer, we have someone else. So basically, I'm just looking at changes of the law, advising the board, and how to make action plan to comply to the law. So we have different department. So on top of that, I'm just overseeing everyone.
Oh, I see. Now, what have been the highlights of your career and like the milestones or like moments where make you feel proud of your current job?
I can't really answer to that question really, because it's been a different journey altogether from being the administrative executive in UCSI and then become a legal manager in construction company and corporate governance officer in aerospace and defense company. So it's a different role. So I think every job that I take has their own satisfaction and reward to myself. But basically, I like in the way that I can read law all the time.
For me, my highlight is the ability and the opportunity that I had to actually meet the key players in Malaysia. For example, I'm doing property, so I do have the opportunity to meet a lot of main and key players in Malaysia, that all those top cream people in the industry that I got to meet with them, even from the big companies, because we are also doing, for example, joint ventures with all those big companies, and we also meet people from the banking industries. We also meet people for even up to the top, where you meet ministers, you meet with the royals, and then to the end, to the bottom, where you meet with the staffs. And I mean, the highlight is you get to meet a lot of people, and you get to actually expand your connections.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. That's really nice. Like, for you, it's like, as long as you get to read law, you fulfill your passion, then that's really nice. And yours is like getting to meet people and
Yeah,
do-
yeah.
Oh, that's really
Like when people say that, oh, when you are a lawyer, you get to meet clients. Yes, it's true, but it doesn't mean that when I am a legal manager, I stay in the office all the time. I do also meet people. Yeah, we also conduct events. We have meetings outside, and then we also conduct, for example, like occasions where we invite people come to the office for launchings and all that. So we get to meet a lot of people, and I mean, it's really interesting.
Oh, yeah, it really does sound interesting. Like, at this point of life, like, what's your personal definition of success then?
Personal definition of success is the ability for you to grow. Alright. So to grow means first in the perspective of your income, and then second, and also for your personal development. Alright. So when you have the ability to grow, you have the ability to increase your horizon of knowledge, your how you brought up yourself, how you present yourself to people. And in terms of income, of course, you by then you can increase your level of life. Okay, you get, I mean, yes, of course, in material aspect, yes, you get to buy this, buy that, and all that. You get to travel and all that. But at the same time, you also develop your inner skills and your inner personalities. So that's the answer for me.
I see.
Okay, I think for me, more or less the same is to have a platform to improve myself, and also to be who I am and proud of who I am actually. I don't have to be someone else to say that, okay, actually I am someone, and someone, I am defined by my position, defined by my wealth or whatever. I am Fatihah Syafiq, and that's what I'm proud of. I think if you know me, you know me. If you don't know me, it's okay. That's my definition of success.
I see. That's really interesting. Like, for you, it's like to have a increase in income and like to have the potential to grow. Whereas yours is like more to like self-identity, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how do you achieve your said success then? Like, personally, how will you go about it to achieve like those kind of success?
You find your own opportunities. You find your own opportunities. I mean, wherever you are, no matter where and which company or which organization you work with, always see whether will you be expanding or you're going to be stagnant there. Alright. So some people, they don't mind being stagnant because they are in their comfort zone. But then once you are willing to grow, then you have to find the right platform. So if the current place that you are doesn't give you the chance for you to grow, then make a move.
Yeah, I think as in-house counsel, I think more or less our view is quite the same, because we meet a lot of people and we see that everyone that we meet is opportunity to a new door. So what matters most is actually a platform, who you know and who you want to be with. It's not just about you know this person and that's it, but whether you want to be with that person and how that person actually can become resources and also motivation for you to become better every day.
So it actually like shows like how corporate culture is.
Yeah, because corporate culture, we have to take care of everyone, and everyone take care of everybody.
I see. Alright, so moving on to our final and last question. Do you have any advice you would like to give to aspiring lawyers and law students?
Alright, don't define yourself with your degree title. Like, for example, you are a Bachelor of Law degree holder. It doesn't mean that you have to become a lawyer. It doesn't even mean that you have to do law or something legal. Bachelor of Law degree, it opens a lot of doors. So you can venture up to a lot of things out there. You don't even have to identify yourself and put yourself in a box where I have to do legal stuff. It doesn't, because once you're, that is one thing that I learned once I am out there. Once I graduated, this degree can bring me everywhere, every sector, every part of the world, if I want to be there, right? So up until from the CEO, even CEO of the company, even if you want to become an admin, that degree can bring you and make you be there. Right?
I get what you mean.
Again, I think it would be the same. So the degree that you have is actually a ticket, but how would you use the ticket? It depends on you. Because if you are looking a position based on the job title, let's say you have Bachelor of Law degree, and then you are applying as legal associate or conveyancing lawyer or litigation lawyer, so you are limiting your opportunity to work with other people and also become something that actually you are it. So start with defining what you like, what you would like to try, and just go for it. I think the degree prepares you to become an analytical person and put different input from different perspective compared to your engineering friends or finance friends. So if you put it together, you can be someone else, like compliance officer. Probably you never learned during your degree time what is compliance, what is corporate governance. But you see, each role actually requires the reading of law itself to fit the role that everyone is seeking for that. So I guess not limiting yourself to the position, and just try whatever you wanted to try, because everything has its own time and place to begin with.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, thank you so much. That's the end of To You. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks.
Welcome. Thanks.